Welcome back to North to Prem. In today's episode, we have an FA Cup first round home fixture against League One Bolton Wanderers. After that, we'll either be playing Boston United away. If we somehow manage to get a draw and take a replay with Bolton, then that'll be our second game of the episode. Otherwise, it'll be away to Boston United in the National League North. Since you last left us, we did beat Rushall 7-3 in the National League North. Since then, we've gone on another good run. We knocked out Macclesfield and Rushall Olympic again in the third and fourth qualifying rounds of the FA Cup, both 2-0 victories. And then in the league, we've again been absolutely dominant. A 2-0 win over Oxford City, 3-1 against Chorley away. We followed that up with a home win against Kings Lynn 3-0. We then had a little bit of a more difficult home win, but it's still a win against Hitchin at home. We then absolutely thrashed Scarborough, who were up there in the top three when we played them, 5-1 away from home at the Flamingo Land Stadium. Amazing. And then we had quite an 8-goal thriller at home to Curzon Ashton in the league. As you can see, that all means our league table looks like this. We're still unbeaten, 17 games in, just the one draw against Gainsborough, all other wins. We have created a bit of a gap now with us and Scunthorpe. So I think, given the form we're in, the goal difference, all that, we really need to be winning the league this year. And I think we will win the league. All that means we are in terrific form. So coming into this game against Bolton, every good chance that we could actually get a result here. Bolton are actually second in League One, so they're doing really well as well. They've only lost 2 games in the league all season. In terms of their recent results, though, it hasn't been straightforward. So they did draw away to Peterborough, and then they don't have to travel too far to come away to us as well. Maybe they stayed local to that. They have won their last 2 league games, but then drew with Carlisle before that, and then lost a couple games around here. So very much their good form has come earlier in the season. In terms of the cups, they haven't had a great run. They got knocked out by Sunderland in the League Cup second round. They then lost to Salford, who are in League Two in the Bristol Street Motors, so the EFL Cup that no one cares about. So it's not necessarily been straightforward for them. They have had their losses this season, but they are a very good side. We are obviously 3 divisions down from them, so the chances of us getting a result is pretty slim. Financially, though, they do have quite a big ground. If you look at the kind of attendances they get at home, I mean, you're talking upwards of 15k. So if we can somehow manage to get a replay and go away to Bolton, that could really help us out financially, because at the minute we are £70,000 in debt. So we really could use a bit of a financial boost, and a cup run would do that. Obviously, if we could beat Bolton, even better, because we get to go into the second round and maybe even get a bigger team away from home. But realistically, a draw would probably be the best result we could get. So let's try and get it right now. I mean, we're in great form, so are they, but we've not lost all season. We haven't lost at all, so we are unbeaten. And this is the team that we're going to go with. We're going to stick with the same 11 that's been playing pretty much every game. Cowler in goal, a back 4 of Ahui, Kobe Small, Connor Johnson, Brendan Horton. A midfield 2 of Harry Titchmarsh, who's obviously on loan from Peterborough. And then he'll be partnering up with Joe Knight. Midfield 3 of Hines, Ibrahim, Kamani, Ryan, who obviously came into the squad quite recently. I'm just wondering, have I introduced you to Kamani, Ryan? Because when did we last play Rushall? We played Rushall on the 24th of September. Have we done any business since then? No, so Ryan joined before that. Okay, so you were aware of that. The only other bit of transfer business, actually, is I think we mentioned Michael Laffey went out on loan to Ramsgate, but Kane Felix has left the club. Obviously, he wasn't really playing the season. He was good last year. He got 14 goals in 41 games, playing out wide, but yeah, he's not really featured too much this year. So he's gone. Well, he hasn't played at all this year. So he's went to Maidenhead on a free transfer, which does give us a little bit more wage to work with. We are trying to renew some deals. We are looking at bringing in 1 or 2 players as well. Alfie Doy looks like he'll probably be going back to Norwich. They're not happy that he's not playing, but he's not really played too well whenever he's played, so he'll probably be going there. So we'll probably need another centre-back. Other than that, we are still trying to move on Josh McCammon. Ben Wyatt kicking up a bit of a fuss that he's not playing, so he might be another one that moves on. But we are offering a number of players new deals, so hopefully we can try and get some of these players tied down for next season, because our season next season will hopefully be in the National League. But we've got a massive FA Cup game fixture here. I mean, I think we can get a result. You know, it's going to be tough. Make no mistake about it. It's definitely going to be tough, because Bolton are, National League, League 2, 3 leagues above us. So in terms of their squads, obviously Louis Barry, we know him. Adebayo, oh God, I'm not even going to try. Not even going to try. Carl Dempsey, nothing too crazy. No, not too many. I don't know, Dominic Ball, Ben Andrucci, but I don't think he's that good. Yeah, nothing too scary in that. I mean, I don't know all of those players. Obviously, I'm not a database of of football players in the AFL, but I know quite a few. And that's not a team that looks amazing. I mean, it looks like a team that would do well in League One from a couple of the players that I noticed, but not a team that would be, necessarily win in League One by any means. So I think we're at home. Let's try and, if we can get a result, we know we can play. We know we can play. We know we're better than a National League North side anyway. So we're not really, I guess it's, a mistake from the goalkeeper, and Olamide Ibrahim can pounce on it. And we've actually gone 1-0 up inside 40 seconds. I wasn't expecting anything to happen, so I was just rambling on about how we're not really a National League North side, because realistically, I mean, the quality of the players, nearly all of them are National League players, so we're really only really a couple divisions down. But we did go 1-0 up there, and I thought Chukwuemeka was going to make it 2-0 there, but a mistake from the goalkeeper. He's kind of just fumbled it, and it's fell to Olamide Ibrahim, who has absolutely been thriving, by the way, in this more advanced position. And we go 1-0 up, so now the thinking changes totally. We don't need to be just thinking about a draw. We want to be winning this. We want to be going to the next round. And worst case scenario now, we want to be drawn, because we're a goal up and we're looking good. They've gone with a flat 4-4-2, which I don't think they'll be able to break us down too much, because I mean that's just two isolated strikers. I don't know how they'll deal with that. Obviously we've got players out wide. We've got fullbacks, so we can deal with the wide men. I think we might have them here, but we obviously do have to keep in mind they have got League One quality players, and maybe even a couple of players who could play in the Championship as well. So we do have to keep that in mind, that they do have that quality. So little moments of magic and unlocking defences and things like that can definitely come. But we're looking really good here. We're playing like the League One side as Kamani Ryan goes through, and I thought we were going to have our second goal there, because Kamani Ryan did really well, but it's fell to Chukwuemeka. And it kind of just bobbled back in the box, but his header hit the post. It's gone out for a Bolton free goal kick, and we are looking really good. I think I just saw there that Ibrahim might have just picked up a knock, though, so we'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully we won't have to take him off. But Ahui driving forward does really well. He's been having another great season. Obviously, he was really good last year as well. We've bring him back on a permanent this time, and he's been just as good, getting plenty of assists, driving down that right-hand side. He is one of the number of players we are trying to renew, as Caleb Chukwuemeka rises like a salmon out of water, gets his big head on it, and it's 2-0 Peterborough Sport. Bolton just have not turned up, and maybe they've rotated the side. Maybe that's why I don't recognise a lot of them, because they've rotated, but they just haven't turned up today. They've only had one shot on target this half. Only had one shot this half, and it can't have been much of a shot because the XG was tiny. So we've looked really good, and Chukwuemeka there gets in for a second, and Ibrahim, who has picked up a knock, will strike from distance, beats the goalkeeper, but unfortunately just too high and can't beat the goal. And we are 2-0 up though, as Chukwuemeka, as I was just singing Ahui's praises, he gets the assist there. We're 2-0 up. We need to be winning this now. We need to be winning this. This is what happens, I think, in Football Manager. You can be a lower league side, but if you're absolutely destroying the league, you can go and play a bigger team and win, because that momentum just carries you through to these games. We will take Ibrahim off because he has picked up a knock, and it looks like it's going to be a serious one there. Just thinking, what do we want to do? We don't really have too many attacking midfielders. I'm thinking we'll shove Knight further forward because he can play there, and we'll bring Ben Shalner on, who is another one that I'm trying to offer a new deal to. So Ben Shalner's only on £50 a week, and he only wanted £90 to extend till next season. So I see no reason not to extend him. He's obviously, I don't know if he's Peterborough born, but he's from Peterborough, he's from the area, so he obviously likes playing at this level. And when we go up to the National League, obviously there's no requirement to turn professional. We will still be a semi-professional side in the National League, because we are a semi-professional side at the moment. As Knight did really well there to intercept the ball and just let it fall to Chukwuemeka, but unfortunately his effort with his feet, not as good as with his head, and he does put it wide. But 2-0 here, and it looks like if anyone's going to score, it's going to be us. We've not really seen anything from Bolton here, so I was bigging them up as second in League One. But we did mention that they haven't had the strongest of cup runs this year. Maybe just focusing entirely on the league is their aim. But we are very much flying in the league, so we can definitely start to shift our focus to the cup games, as Chukwuemeka in again But unfortunately, this time he can't keep his header down. And it does remain 2-0 as Knight now with a free kick, and Joe Knight makes it 3. I really didn't expect this. I thought we might just win, or even better, we could take, well, not even better, but as consolation, we could at least take a draw and get a replay. But we are absolutely leathering them, and we haven't seen anything from Bolton. They're just not really done anything. Louis Barry been really ineffective as a strike partner. Not really sure he's a striker, to be honest with you, but there you go. Much more of a wide player, someone like Kamani, where Kamani Ryan would play, someone who can drift inside and work really well. But Knight is thriving since signing for us, and Kobe Small does really well, because that was looking a little bit dangerous as Titchmarsh plays it through. Chukwuemeka strikes it. I thought he was offside. I saw the line of flag go up. It was offside, so it isn't going to be 4-0. And the fact that I'm even saying that is just crazy that we haven't made it 4-0. Joe Knight is looking a little bit tired, so we'll probably hook him soon. But Bolton do have a corner here, and it has fell to Carlos Mendes Gomez on the edge of the box, and he does put it in. And that's just a little warning for us. We don't need to get too ahead of ourselves. It's 3-1 now, and they've got the quality. They can definitely mount a comeback, and it's going to be another highlight, and it's going to be Bolton again coming forward. And this is really poor if we let this one in. Dominic Ball, I think it's Dominic Ball. He just knocks it over the bar there. So we've got to be careful. I mean, we're obviously doing really well, but we don't want to give anything daft away. So let's see, who can we bring on for Joe Knight? I don't really want to bring McCammon on. We'll bring Dan Mooney on. He's not really he's more of a wide player than someone who can play in the middle, but we'll bring him on. He's been someone that's good. Everyone else can stay on. Who he's looking a little bit tired, but I don't really want to take him off because he's so good. But it is going to be another highlight, and it has come from a Hui side, but thankfully this time Brendan Horton can clear it, and it's just layered into the area. But Cowler does really poorly in both instances, and Bolton have another one back. It's now Peterborough 3, Bolton 2, and Dempsey gets the second, and this is looking worrying. That was very, very poor from Cowler, who is another one that we have actually offered a new deal to, and now I'm thinking, do we retract it, because that was really poor. He fumbled the first effort. Oh God, 3 minutes to go. Can we hold on? Let's bring Cropper on, and let's time waste. Let's shove the time wasting up to full, and hopefully we can see this out, because it has got a little bit nervy now. But Bolton with a free kick. Louis Barry standing over it. Is he going to strike it, or is he going to look for an option? He's looked for an option, and it's played in, and Bolton have equalised. They've done the comeback. It's 3-3, and all the talk of us being amazing and Bolton being terrible has all just been wiped out. We'll take the time wasting off now. It's 3-3, and Bolton might even fancy themselves to go on for a winner here. This is so poor. How we've thrown this away, I don't know. And it is going to be full time. It is going to be 3-3, which means we do get the replay. So I guess we do get a little bit of a financial bonus of it. But we were 3-0 up. I can't believe it. We were 3-0 up with 30 minutes to go. I can't believe we've thrown it. And Cowler is at a howler. Really bad from him. I mean, the defence, not great either. Challoner and not really doing too good since he came on. Didn't really close anyone down. I feel like as soon as we had to make those substitutions, we were just a worse side. Taking Ibrahim and Knight off, I think they were so important to how we play. So that's really disappointing. I mean, we're 3-0 up. I can't believe we've thrown it, but that does mean our second game of the episode will be the replay. So if we have to play some games in between, then we'll do that. But we'll do the replay away to Bolton, and that'll be our next game. So we are back for the replay against Bolton Wanderers, and last time we left off, obviously, there was the 3-3 draw. We've played a couple of games. We actually did, unfortunately, lose our first game of the National League North season away 2-0 to Boston United, which is a really disappointing result. We then followed that up. Thankfully, we've turned it back round and beat Warrington 4-1. Boston aren't a really, they're doing well, but they're not one of the teams who are in the league, absolutely running away with it like us and Scunthorpe. So they are a team that can lose and draw. So it was a little bit of a disappointing result, to be honest with you. But we beat Warrington, who are very much the same kind of a playoff team. So we've managed to, whatever the issues were in these games, we've managed to turn them round. We then beat Malvern. I don't know who those are. Malvern Town, a non-playable league team away. 6-0 in the FA Trophy. We don't really care about the FA Trophy. We've got Curzon Ashton in the next round. We'll probably only show the FA Trophy if we get to the final. Other than that, we probably won't show it. But we do have our FA Cup first round replay. The winner of this will play Sheffield Wednesday, so that would be a really big fixture. But hopefully, this bit of, this away fixture kind of gives it a bit of a money income. We got 30 grand around that for our home game. I'm thinking we're probably away, expecting with Bolton's big ground and the attendances they tend to get at home, even if it's, not as big as some of these numbers. In the Bristol Street Motors Trophy, they only got 3,500, which wouldn't be very good. But, for league games, they do get up to about 15k, if not more. So if we can get something around 10k, that should still be a decent amount of income for us to share with Bolton. But we have had, unfortunately, a couple injuries as well. And I forgot to mention, we actually have had a couple of transfer moves here and there. So in terms of outgoings first, so Ben Wyatt's left the club. He was kind of unhappy that he wasn't really playing. That was fine. Obviously he played a big part in our first season in National League North, but didn't play too much, more of a rotation left back. So he's went to Maidstones. He's actually made the step up into the National League. Not sure how much he's going to play there. He is only shown as a fringe player, so fair play to him, but he's got a deal till the end of the season for more money than he was on now, and he wasn't really playing now anyway, so he might as well not play now somewhere else. But we have made 2 signings. So Kiddo Taylor Hart has joined us on a free contract. He was a youngster at Arsenal, never really making a game, went on loan to Derby but didn't play, but he did spend last year on loan in the National League and got 4 goals and made 26 appearances, so a decent bit of pedigree there. Technically he's nothing to write home about, but he's got some okay levels for this level, but physically he's very good, which is why I think he's going to be a really good addition. He is shown as a good National League player. We have signed him actually on a 2-year deal, so he'll leave at the end of next season. So if we do go up, we'll have a player who's already National League ready. He can play on the left or the right. I've tried him on the right, and he did score 2 on his debut against Maven Town, but again, that's in the FA Trophy against a non-league team, non-playable league team. We also signed Dinel Simiu on a £400 a week deal until the end of next season. He's someone who looks really good. He's got good technicals. He looks like a League 2 player. He's shown as a leading National League player. I'm telling you now, he's a League 2 player. He looks really strong. Good valuation already. So he joins on £400 a week till the end of next season. So he's previously of Chelsea. He got a £1.5 million move to Southampton. Had a couple of loans in the AFL, played a little bit in League 2, bit in League 1. Then never really made an appearance for Southampton though, but did spend a bit of time in League 2 and League 1, so to get him in National League North is a really good pickup. Again, he's another one who's a leading National League player, so he's someone who we're really happy to get tied down for next season as well, because that's filling up spots for next season. We have had a couple injuries. He actually himself has picked up an injury, so he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. That was actually in training. Connor Johnson got injured in the trophy game, so it's a good job we rotated for that. Other than that though, the team looks fine. Brandon Lonsdale's potentially on his way out. He's got an offer from Margate. We are trying to move on McCammon, Dan Mooney, Jordan Cropper, just some rotation players. We are a little bit over our wage budget, so if we can bring that down. Obviously Brandon Lonsdale's only on £90 a week, but he's not really playing at all. We kept him on as rotation, but we don't need him. We've got enough players who can play out wide. Josh Hines has done okay this season. Obviously he's got a really good return, but recently he started to drop off a little bit, just because he wants a new contract because he's not getting paid enough, which at £110 a week is probably fair to say, but we just don't have the cash. We just don't have the wage budget to offer him a better deal, and he doesn't just want £200 or £300 a week. He wants like £600, which is way too much for him, so he'll probably leave at the end of the season. He's someone who's probably not good enough for the National League anyway, but that's all based on the fact that we are going to go up, because we are only now 3 points behind Scunthorpe, because we did lose that game to Boston, so they have closed the gap a little bit. I would still fancy us to go up, but Scunthorpe have been really good this year as well. But let's try and beat Bolton. Obviously we had a really good start. Let's throw a couple of these other players on the bench as well. Let's just throw them all on. We might as well. Let's get Lonsdale on as well. We probably won't use them, but you never know. So this is the team we're going to go with. So we'll have a Cowler in goal, who has signed a new deal till the end of next year as well. A back four of Ahui, Kobe Small, who signed a new deal till the end of next year on £350 a week. Alfie Doy coming in, who hasn't played a lot at all, and when he has played, he hasn't looked very good, to be honest, so it's a rare start for him due to injuries. Brendan Horton, a midfield two of Titchmarsh and Joe Knight, who signed a new bumper contract on £700 a week. Yeah, we did offer the big bucks for him, but he's 19-year-old. He's already a good league. I mean, he's shown as a good League 2 player. That's a good player to have for the next few years. So he's done really well this year. Not the most goals and assists, but he plays a little bit deeper. But he's a really good player. And then a attacking midfield three of Kiddo Taylor Hart, who had a really good debut, 2 goals on his debut and a 10.0 rating. Olamide Ibrahim, who has a ton of goals in the league, 12 and 19, so really good season from him. Kamani Ryan on the left, and then Caleb Chukwuemeka up top. And, I mean, if we lose this, you'd think we probably will, but we were 3-0 up against them at home, and the fact that we threw it away was really disappointing. But hopefully we can do okay here. Obviously, there's no replay because this is the replay. Looking at the team, it looks very similar to last time, but I'm noticing a few more players. So Ty Sodge, I know he's good. Mendes Gomez and Dempsey scored last time. Thierry Small I know of. A few others as well. So it looks like they might have been playing a little bit more of a first team this time, which is very worrying because we did only end up drawing with what I think is a rotation team. Recently, though, they're only... Well, we must be one of these draws. So recently they have actually dropped off a little bit. So maybe we can... I mean, we have a little bit as well, but that's only dropped off for our standards. They've dropped off a lot in the league. So maybe we can get something here. Who knows? But again, they're going with a flat 4-4-2. Obviously, they played Louis Barry up top last time, and he was really not effective. So not surprised to see him being dropped. If we could somehow get a win in this, then we'll probably come back for the Sheffield Wednesday game. If we can't get a win, then I don't know. We'll probably play up until January, or maybe even the end of January, because, like I say, we're absolutely flying in the league, so I don't think it's the most interesting season. Realistically, we probably should have went up last year, but it wasn't to be. We've had to play another season in National League North, but I think it's a matter of if, not when, with us now. We're definitely going to finish in the playoffs, so even if we did finish playoffs, I think we'd go up. But you never know with the playoffs. I thought we were going to, walk through Buxton last time. We actually ended up getting knocked out by them, which was a bit of a crazy, but it has been a highlightless first half. But we do have a chance here, but unfortunately the effort from the corner does go over, and it is going to be 0-0 going in half time, so not bad at all. It looks kind of full as well, so this is good for us. We'll tell the players we're not happy, even though in reality I am actually very happy, but we haven't really played too well ourselves. You'd fancy Bolton would step up their game and go on to win this now, but you never know. I mean, if it's going to be a quiet game, we could even go off and maybe even sneak a win. That would be good. That would be excellent, but we will see. But it looks like Bolton are driving through, but Sodge there, his effort into the box was deflected, and Cowler, who had an absolute howler in the last game against Bolton, does collect it well. He's looking for an option. He just launches it up to Ibrahim, who knocks it on to Caleb Chukwuemeka, who I thought was going to get on the end of it, but he doesn't. Who he's going to pick up the loose ball, and he plays it into Caleb Chukwuemeka, who gets his 17th of the season. It's Peterborough Sports 1, Bolton 0, and once again, we lead against the League One side. Can we actually hold on to it this time? It's going to be a long second half of football, but hopefully this time we can actually hold on, as we do have another highlight already. And fair play to Alfie Doy, who hasn't really played a lot, and I do believe his loan is going to get recalled once January hits, so we'll see what happens there. But I do believe he'll be going back, so we might be regretting not playing him more often. But Connor Johnson's been good. We have brought Simiyu in now, who's probably one more long-term player for the club. Obviously, Alfie Doy is only here till the end of the season on loan anyway, but he hasn't really ever kicked on. But I guess he's never really been fully fit with not playing, so maybe that's my fault for not playing him much. But like I say, Connor Johnson's been good. We've been flying, so there's not really been a real reason to bring him in. As Ahui picks up the ball, and Alecha Ahui gets just his second goal of the season, but what an important one it is. And once again, we do go 2-0 up against Bolton. Peterborough Sports 2, Bolton 0. And once again, we are looking in pole position to actually beat them. It looks like Titchmarsh has picked up a little bit of a knock, so we will bring Ben Shalner on in his place. He is more of a defensive-minded centre mid, so last time he came on was actually for Joe Knight, who is much more of a playmaker. So maybe this suits him a little bit. But we do have another highlight, and it is down near the Bolton end, so this is good. Ahui whips it in. Kamani Ryan's effort, unfortunately, this time just goes over. Kiddo Taylor-Hart's looking a little bit tired, so we will bring Hines on to... Actually, no. Well, I was going to say he's not really playing well, but his rating's okay. Actually, you know what? It's Kamani Ryan who's a little bit tired. We'll bring Josh Hines on the left-hand side, and we'll actually swap those round. So Kiddo Taylor-Hart can go on the left. Josh Hines can go in his regular position on the right. And that is our second change, and we are 2-0 up, and... I mean, things are going well. Once again, we might actually be able to pull off an upset. This obviously happened last time. We were very much talking about going on to the next round, and then Bolton managed to bring one back. We do have a last substitution we can make, and I think we are going to make it. So we'll bring Hines onto the left. push Chukwuemeka out wide, and we'll bring Gabriel Overton on up top so Kiddo Taylor-Hart can make way as we have our last 10 minutes. Hopefully just getting another striker on can sure us up. And obviously we've got big Chukwuemeka there who can win the ball in the air as well. But it looks like we are going to run out of this. Well, there is 7 minutes of added time. I don't think that'll still be enough to get 2 back for Bolton, who haven't really turned up this game again. I mean, they didn't really turn up in the last game either, but they somehow managed to get some back. And we have won. We've won 2-0, which means we will be going, I believe, away to Sheffield Wednesday in the next round of the FA Cup. What a result. I mean, it was never really too difficult because we didn't see anything from Bolton there. Nothing at all. So a 2-0 win over a League One side just shows how good the squad is. And we have managed to win it. So how much money did... Oh, we made a lot of money as well. Wow. So what was it, about 30k? So we just made 160k off that, which is just put our overall balance up to 113k. Let's get it in the wage budget. Get some of this in the wage budget so we can be within budget. But that is great. We also got 41k for actually winning in that round as well, which I didn't realize was such a big amount. So we are now very much looking like a team who is actually going to be making a little bit of money this year, which is great. Titchmarsh, unfortunately, picked up a 2 to 4 week injury, which isn't good because he is very much a player who is important to our game. But what a result. So we will play Sheffield Wednesday in the next game. So we'll definitely come back for that one because that's another interesting game. So it's only actually, yeah, so I guess we'll come back for Sheffield Wednesday. The game will either play Blythe after it, or maybe we'll play Curzon Ashton and do like a double cup game. Unless we manage to get a replay like we did with Bolton, then we'll obviously do the replay. But we are away. That should be, again, another big amount because they probably get very similar numbers to Bolton at home. Actually, a little bit more. They actually get a little bit more in the league. So Bolton's were much more around the 15, 16, 17, 18,000, whereas Sheffield Wednesday tend to get about 20, 22. Yeah, so that could be even more money. And again, that's so weird because when we played Bolton, they also played Peterborough just before they played us, at least in the first game. So where was it? Yeah, so they played Peterborough in the league, then played Peterborough Sports, us, in the FA Cup. And Sheffield Wednesday are going to do the exact same thing. They've got Peterborough before us, and then they play us. Well, that's actually ideal because we only have to play Darlington, and we get a 7-day break, whereas they play Peterborough just 3 days before they play us, and they've got to play 2 games in between. So they're away to Peterborough and then at home to us. So, and they're not doing very well in League One. Could this be another upset? Could we have another upset in the cards, and maybe even get to the third round, which was when all the really, all the Premier League teams come in? That would be, we could even get an away fixture to a big Premier League side and get a load of money. I mean, I'm dreaming here, but you never know. You never know. So we'll come back in the next episode for Sheffield Wednesday away in the FA Cup. The second game will just very much depend on whether we get a replay on that. If not, then I think we'll probably play Curzon Ashton in the FA Trophy and just kind of do like a little cup double and skip some of the league games. So we'll play Darlington in between. I don't imagine too much transfer business or anything else will happen. But yeah, what an episode. We've managed to beat Bolton. We've managed to advance into the second round of the FA Cup, which is the furthest we got because last year we very much got knocked out early. We got knocked out in the 4th qualifying round against St Albans, so we didn't even manage to qualify for it properly. Now, obviously, this was, I think, before our time anyway. I think we actually joined on the St Albans game. That might have been our first game. I can't remember now, but we very much went out early, so it was kind of before we really managed to put our stamp on things. But we are, as you can see, doing much better this year. Just the 1 win in the league, just as the 1 draw as well. So really good stuff. And yeah, we're looking really good. So we'll come back for Sheffield Wednesday. I'm thinking we can get something there. I genuinely do, because Bolton were 4th in League One, and now we're playing Sheffield Wednesday, who are actually doing much worse. They're down in 16th. So who did they actually beat in the last round to get through it? Bishop Stortford. I mean, they beat them 5-3 as well, so they actually did concede quite a few. And Bishop Stortford are like really poor in our league. You know what? I think we can get something here because they've got to play 2 games as well before they play us. I genuinely think we can get something here. I think we can get to the 3rd round. So this is going to be a really interesting second round. But we will play Darlington in between. It's just 3 days from now, so let's rest the players before I forget. Well, not Titchmarsh because he's injured. But yeah, we'll rest the players for a couple of days. Make sure we're not training. Make sure they can try and recover for that game against Darlington, who are down in 17th. So that should be a win. But hopefully we can win that and then go into the Sheffield Wednesday in great form and then maybe even cause another cup upset. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of North to Prem, and I'll see you all for that very soon.